I'm gonna blame it on them now. You would think you'd have some class that you won.
Mm-hmm.
You could talk your but then
Mm-hmm.
don't get aggressive. That just makes you look like an You see him, you're saying, hey, yo, come on, bring it on. That's stupid, man. You guys
Yeah.
act like you guys played in the goddamn game for you guys to be doing that.
This is Hermanos FC, and I am joined today with my brother. Fight! We are gonna fight in this one because we just saw the Uruguay Colombia game, and oh boy, things got hot and spicy. I don't know, dude. Initial thoughts before we get into a kind of like the what happened after the game.
So to my Colombian peeps, congrats. Out of solidarity, aguardiente
Spicy.
sin azúcar, and my shot glass that I got in Colombia. You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
Little morning get me up. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're gonna do. Oh no! You really did it. Okay, well that's why people got angry
And that's why
and
people
started.
fought. Yeah.
That's why people were fighting because of
Mm-hmm.
what you just did there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into kind of the numbers before we get into everything else. Just like we kind of predicted, or kind of like how you called it, the game was going to be rough, and that was an understatement. It was beyond rough. Let's look at the numbers real quick, and I'm gonna play a video of kind of like what CONMEBOL and what like soccer looks like on this side of the planet. Real quick, let me share with you the numbers. All right, so the final tally, the final score, of course, it was 0-1. Colombia won with 10 men down. It was a header off a corner with Jefferson Lerma scoring that. Um, Things got kind of lopsided in a little bit. I think the word would be stressful for Colombia and Colombian fans. Munoz got a red card
Well, I
literally
mean
at the
that's
45th.
that's the reason for this big possession, right? They were down a man, and
Mm-hmm.
you know
Yeah.
that I mean that was going
Col-
to happen, and they defended as best as they could,
yeah, we
and they
got
and
61 to 38 in terms of possession percentage, shots on goal 2-4 for Colombia. Um, Shot attempts 11-11, fouls 11-13, yellow cards 3, red cards 1. So in terms of shot attempts, goal attempts, all that kind of stuff, pretty even, pretty fair. Possession obviously very one sided. Uruguay could not capitalize on their being
I mean there was
a
chances, right?
foolish. Well,
Like
that's what I'm saying.
like
They couldn't capitalize on the
let's not
chances.
act like there was nothing. Uruguay did nothing, right? They hit the
No, no,
post with
no.
Suarez. Darwin Nunes missed 199 shots. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there were some of these kickbacks. I can't remember his name right now, but Araujo maybe not like the different one. He skied it to the second level of the stadium.
No, I mean,
They look like shit, but
but the,
not to take away from Colombia either. Though Colombia played well, and they will all agree with me. Whoever Mateos, I think is his name.
uh huh.
He missed two wide open ones, and I mean wide the fuck open.
Yeah, Mateus Uribe.
Yeah.
Uh, so okay, all right. Colombia, 10 men down, tough game. Uruguay couldn't capitalize on that. It was more of a sign of how Uruguay wasn't put together as best as I thought they were gonna be, given the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity they were given. They got a whole half where they had a 10 man advantage. Now we chalk that up to what? Just
I
couldn't take
mean,
advantage of their chances that they got.
uh,
That's really much it, right? They
yeah,
just
that
couldn't
is
take advantage of the chances that they
because
got.
Colombia defended as best as they could. They defended out great too, right? But obviously, with 10 men down, you're gonna have some spots where shit was gonna go through. Suarez hitting the post, a couple of their shots going way too high, getting desperate and shooting from far. Um, Colombia did what USA should have, tighten up the back, make it super difficult for them, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
And at times, they looked scary with 10 men. instead of being the full 11,
Right, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
They counter. They're so fast. They're agile, and I think they're gonna give Argentina a run for their money. Now remember, I said I don't think Argentina wins.
Okay.
So
Well,
the
but last night gave me also pause because now chalk it up to the kind of game that it was or whatever the case may be. I don't know the pressure of
mhm.
it. Colombia cannot play like they did last night against a team like Argentina and not capitalize
No, like
on what how they also could have dropped the game. Just
correct.
mentally, on a mental level,
Yeah,
I
while they
think
were
mentally they weren't at 100 yesterday.
well, yeah, I will agree and say that like Darwin Nunez missing in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning like that with everybody's full 11, Uruguay looked a lot better within like 10 15 minutes, right? But then it kind of changed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You can't give Julian Alvarez and Messi that space
mm-hmm.
and think you're gonna get it away with that.
No, they
Um,
finish.
they finish. So with that being said, though, Colombia looks strong and they're fast, man. They're really fucking agile, and you want them to win,
But
and they
here's the
want to win.
here's the thing too. Argentina's back line is tough. We got
Yeah,
Guti back there,
it's better. It's
Martinez
better.
back.
It's
It's a
better
better.
than Uruguay with them having Araujo out with that injury.
It's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be just as tough. I think it's going to be just as tough. It's going to be just as gritty. I think honestly, probably even more so because it's a final.
Hmm.
And Argentinians are well known to break their own legs in terms of if that's what it takes. So let me just kind of want to show you a little bit of kind of the tone of yesterday. Ex Spurs and sad that he just never got his peak. Davison Sanchez here with Jose Jimenez here, and it's just a little indication of how kind of the game went. He gives him a shot to the abdomen. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that?
Quick little jab.
Yeah, he gives him a jab right here. Right here, he gives him a jab. Boom, right there.
uh,
That's just kind of that's kind of how it goes. I mean, this didn't lead up to what happened afterwards, but I mean, this is just kind of a sign of how just rough and tough it goes. So, this being said, kind of touching on kind of how the game went, let's talk about what happened afterwards. There's a lot being said, and you'd let me know what you've heard so far. The story goes that the Uruguayan family and friends were in this part of the stadium, in this section of the stadium. After the game was over, some scuffle started going on, and then the players got involved, and they got into the stands and started throwing fists, and beer was being thrown, and punches. Now, earlier, I was listening to another show where a Colombian fan that was sitting in the stands was saying the opposite, that they didn't start it. So now it's just hearsay that who
mhm.
started what. Look, it's a dicey game. A lot of energy and tempers were high, and drinking is always involved. It happens. It's just part of the thing. Then the problem is that now we're talking about in a section full of family and friends. Now the players get involved, and then it becomes kind of something else now because it's
Mhm.
like, where was security? What was happening? So let me kind of show you a little bit of like what the stands were looking like.
Go on.
So you can see here like the some Colombian fans were aggravating. Some punch came from out of nowhere there, like left field, and then it just becomes a brawl and a melee. Like after that, everyone just starts getting into it. See people getting pushed into other people. It just becomes a thing. It just becomes, and at this point, you don't know what's what anymore. Like who
No,
started what. Like it's just a free for all at this point.
I mean, look, it started with that guy right there with the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What the basketball? It was like a basketball
it
jersey,
was a
right?
basketball jersey,
Yeah,
but it started with him. But I don't
yeah,
know. We're not there either, so we can't say that. And like,
yeah.
but
Exactly.
also like you would think friends and family would be maybe a bit more protected, right?
Yeah.
Um, the thing is, in the U.S., they do this thing where, like, I mean, granted, that's a sideline, so that doesn't apply here. But fans should be, I mean, supporting teams, right, should be
Mm-hmm.
separated.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, right? That you get
Mm-hmm.
in Europe and even in some South American countries, you get a designated section
Mm-hmm.
where you're amongst your own and not in the thick of it.
That doesn't. You know, this is a strictly American problem because
Yeah,
this game,
that happens
it
that happens in football games.
this game in Central in South America. If this game was to happen in South America, they wouldn't be mixed in.
No, so that's an American thing where, like, in football games, if you've gone to football games here,
Yeah.
yeah, you're sitting next to like a Ravens fan or whatever bullshit, like, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and they should have their own, like, hey, you
Their
guys
own
get this
section.
corner of the stadium, they get
Yep.
the other one.
Especially if you're
Um,
visiting or whatever the case may be.
Granted, that was a like sideline, which that never applies.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm inclined to say for the Uruguay players to go up there and start fighting that they did have family. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
rare.
Of course.
It's not rare of them to go fight like the Colombian players when they were in the middle, right? Uruguay does
Hmm.
that shit all the time almost.
Yeah. So we're talking about in the game when they were fighting amongst themselves,
Even when the last whistle blew, they were all in the circle and they were all
pushing
shoving
each
each
other.
other, fighting.
Yeah.
Right? I would chalk that up to being a sore loser,
Yeah.
no matter what was said or done, whatever.
Yeah.
But to actually go in the stands, right? It's almost like the Indiana Pacers situation. Not,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah, it was
It
it.
was yeah. It was the Pacers. Yeah.
Right?
Malice in the Palace. Yes.
Fans get too slick.
I mean, look, I think as a here's the thing though. This is where the line gets like fuzzy. As a professional player, really frowned upon. Most likely, the players that are involved is going to they're going to get into trouble.
Yeah.
They're going to get suspended. God knows what's going to happen to them. That sucks. But like from a human level, you're like, yeah, dude. Like,
If
what are you
some
going to see if your kids and your whatever your mom, your wife, your brother, your family's up there?
that's not new, right? Like, even I remember some England players getting into it in the stands
Yeah, when it
because
was
they're
when Eric
yeah,
Dyer got into the
because
stands.
his wife was getting, like, pressed. Like,
Yeah, I mean
you would think, I'm gonna blame it on them now. You would think you'd have some class that you won.
hmm
You could talk your shit, but then
hmm
don't get aggressive,
hmm
and that just makes you look like an asshole,
You're
right?
talking about the Colombian fans
Yeah, that
in the
Colombia
stand.
in that shit. Like, you're asking, you see him, you're saying, hey, yo, come on, bring it on. That shit's stupid, man. You guys
Yeah,
act like you guys played in the goddamn game for you guys to be doing that.
yeah, 100%.
Like,
Well, I mean, it's crazy because there's going to be a lot of fallout from this, and there's going to be people that are going to get into trouble, and it sucks because if this was a case of like no, obviously it was a case of no security, all this kind of stuff. Like, then what are you left to do? Just I don't know, just be a spectator and
or
watch like madness going on,
or
not do
or
anything about
at
it.
at the very least, if it's friends and family section, have security around there, right? Um, that's the most that I could think of for right now.
But here's the thing too. This is where it gets kind of weird because let me play this video for you.
Or give them a
So
box.
here's the Colombian fans egging them on, and then Darwin Nunez comes and tries to throw a chair at him from the field.
See, I don't see any family shit going on there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's
So,
like
like, where was
when
your
this
family there that you wanted to throw a chair? And wasn't your family there that you could have possibly hit them?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It becomes like, what was this about then? Like, what was this about? Was it because you really wanted to get in there and start fighting? Was there actually family
I,
there and some member? I don't know.
I,
It
my
becomes like,
my initial before saying anything about family was just that they wanted to fight because they were frustrated with the result of the game. Right? It's just like,
yeah,
yo, all right,
yeah,
fuck it. They want to knock some heads. Let them try, and then they're gonna get. It's just gonna be a bad situation.
yeah.
When they started saying that families and this and that, and there is a picture of Valverde's wife and kids getting taken down from the stands and
Mm-hmm.
like into the field. So I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, oh damn, I guess it is true.
Yeah.
But then you got shit like this, like
it can be both. It can actually be both. It could be their family was there and they just wanted to fight too. So it could be whatever. But look, there's one of the last videos I want to play is actually one of the Uruguayan players talking about it on the field.
He couldn't even throw a chair up in the stands, dude.
He got the security stopped him though.
Bullshit.
Like, it did. The security pulled him. Look.
Que va de menos a más. Déjame decirte una cosa, perdoná porque me van a cortar porque sé que te quieren cortar. Que por favor tengan cuidado, porque las familias están en la tribuna. Nos hicieron una avalancha a toda nuestra familia, la hinchada de un cierto sector de Colombia, y no nos dejan hablar en el micrófono. Lo voy a decir ahora porque sé que lo puedo decir, porque si no te cortan. Esto es un desastre. Nuestra familia corrió peligro. Tuvimos que meternos como pedo para arriba de la tribuna a sacar a nuestros seres queridos con bebés chiquitos recién nacidos. Un desastre todo. No había un solo policía. Cayeron a la media hora. Un desastre. Y nosotros ahí dando la cara por nosotros, por los nuestros. ¿Tá? Ojalá que los que están organizando esto tengan un poco más de cuidado con las familias, con la gente y con los alrededores de los estadios, que es todo un desastre porque todos los partidos pasa lo mismo. Nuestras familias están sufriendo por culpa de algunos que se toman dos traguitos de alcohol que no saben tomar, que se comportan como unos niños y no son decentes. ¿Tá? Ojalá que tengan precaución en los próximos partidos, que no vuelva a suceder esto porque es un desastre.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's people that can't hold their liquor. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's that same thing where it's like, yes, you should have sections where you're not mingling with other people. Like it just that's I don't know why they don't do that here.
Why do you think in Europe they have the securities with those bright colored vests cut off the whole like damn stairwell, right? Or like the stairs, right? To divide everyone.
Right.
Yeah, you would think we would learn, right? But no. Or you know what too? He exaggerated talking about police took an hour to get there. But you would think that was a huge fight. I've seen cops swarm for less on giving a ticket, like on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Than that, like an actual fight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. Look. Colombia got through. There's a kind of a black eye in terms of the game and the aftermath of it. It's kind of like a bittersweet thing where it's like, yeah, they won, it's cool, but then all this like stuff happened, and then it's kind of like, you know, like whatever.
But it's a few rotten apples. It doesn't ruin the whole like what they achieved or anything like that.
Yeah.
If anything, it shines a light on, you know, safety in sporting events, right?
Yeah.
Like there needs to be a level of solution, and Conenball, reach out. I'm more than happy to work with you guys.
Well,
on hiring more staff and you know.
Well, I'm glad that you're being so proactive about it too, because with your help, we might have safer games. But that was kind of the initial reactions post Colombia and Uruguay, and yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy tournament. It's gonna be a crazy final. It's gonna be an exciting final. And so before I let you go, what is your prediction for that game? Just give me your winner and your loser.
Ooh, I'm gonna stick with my peeps. Colombia, take it from Argentina.
Okay.
And
you heard it here first.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Don't hate me, guys. But Colombia look good, man. Don't be mad at it. It's just
all right. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it rolls.
I want to see an underdog win.
We'll see how this game goes. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please like, subscribe, do all the things. It really does help us out. And we'll talk in the next one, dude.
Later, guys.
Bye, everybody. Suck it, man. All right.